Hi, I'm Jenn Kolwich, a master's student in the Department of Chemistry at St. Mary's University, and this is my STEM story about how an opportune trip to my professor's office hours led me on the path to graduate school and a career in research. To start things off, I'd like to point out that a career in research and academia was not even on my radar going into university. When I entered my undergrad, my plan was to graduate with a major in biology, go to med school, and become a doctor. Well, that plan quickly took a detour. In my first semester, in fact. I'd chosen a degree in biology because I was fascinated by all of the processes and parts that made up living things. Bio was my favorite class throughout high school. However, when I came to university, I had a new favorite class, chemistry, or more specifically, the chemistry labs. While I'd done some lab work in high school, the general chemistry lab was my first real experience actually doing science. Taking all of the equations and theories and applying them in ways I could see made learning more fun. And because of this experience, by second semester, I'd switched into a double major in biology and chemistry. As I moved through my undergrad, I started veering from my original plan. I became less focused on my goal of pursuing medicine, as I became increasingly interested in my upper year chem courses. Then, attending a prof's office hours changed the course of my career completely. It was March of my third year. I had 15 minutes before a philosophy class, and I popped into my inorganic chem prof's office for a quick question. I got my answer, but before I left, the prof asked, "Did you apply to do research this summer?" And I hadn't. Like I said earlier, I hadn't considered research seriously at all. It was never part of the plan. I liked labs, but I didn't know anything about, well, anything really. What could I possibly research? Before I even knew it was happening, he'd convinced me to give it a shot and apply for a summer research award. He remembered that I was doing a double major in chem and biology and said he had the perfect supervisor in mind. I sat there completely dazed and a little bit nervous as he made a call to his colleague, telling her that I'd be up to see her in just a few minutes. 5 minutes later, I was meeting Dr. Clarissa Sitt for the very first time, asking her to take me on as a summer student and help me apply for a research award, which was due the next day, by the way. Safe to say, I was pretty late for my philosophy class. That summer, I started on my research project, and the doubts came rushing back in. I started on a project as one of the first members of a newly established chemical biology lab. I was terrified. What if I didn't know what to do? What if my experiments failed? I had no previous knowledge on my topic, only a few skills in the lab, and no senior lab members to turn to. But I was very lucky because I did have a supportive supervisor who taught me 3 important things about research. First and foremost, it's okay not to know. The whole point of research is to learn, whether it be skills that are new to you or information that's new to the scientific community. Research is all about discovery, and not knowing is a great starting point for innovation. Second, it's okay to ask for help. Research is not an individual effort. The whole point of having a research group is to have other people to learn from or bounce ideas off of or go to for support. And last, but certainly not least, it's okay to fail. It happens. A lot. Experiments don't always work out, and that's okay, because you have the opportunity to figure out why, problem solve, and try it again. And remember, some of the best ideas and discoveries have come from failed experiments. By embracing these 3 lessons, I went from being afraid of research to embracing it as my favorite new way to learn. I continued on with my summer research project all the way through in honors, and even returned to complete my master's on the same topic. And while I'll soon be leaving my project behind, these 3 rules of research will stay with me through my PhD and beyond. And even though it was never part of the plan, I'll forever be grateful for the day I popped into office hours and accidentally stumbled into a career in research.